And so, like, I mean, you're talking about, making these records, the Spotify streams and all of that stuff. So, you're at a point where you're like actually making money off of music. But, last episode, you also mentioned that you're a programmer.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's like the music money more of just like this is like fun, to like make money or whatever. Or, like how is that playing into like your day to day?
Yeah. So it's kind of complicated. It's not really complicated, but
yeah,
I would say no, because really what I've been doing since the beginning of Groovy is reinvesting all the money I make from music back into the music. So I remember I was super stoked the day I made like $200 off of music because that's how much FL Studio costs. So I like,
oh yeah, true.
I was like, yo, FL Studio is dope. I can finally afford it.
Yeah.
So I was able to get that, and I'm able to buy plugins now because I make enough of music. So like a lot of the more modern stuff sounds way better than the original stuff because I can afford things like RC20.
Yeah.
And I can get, access to those things and those plugins that like make a huge difference in the way it sounds. And like, so if you have a sub in your car, let's say, like it'll bump because I can like afford to get the tools to make it bump.
Yeah.
I can clear samples now.
True.
So like now, like I'm able to, sampling both, it has an upfront cost and like a forever cost because you use their music, but like the upfront cost isn't cheap. So it's cool that like I can drop a song and be like, okay, it should make enough to be able to clear the sample.
Yeah.
That way, essentially I didn't have to like pay out of my own pocket to like make music for myself and others. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, and a lot of my programmer, I guess, just money I make for my day job does go, I push into the music because I care about it and it's a lot of fun. And honestly, I'm just kind of doing the math now because it would be cool to explore music and see how that's like. Maybe I could always take like a, sabbatical from work or something, or like do it full time, just explore the option, So if it hits that point, I definitely want to like at least try it for a year and see how it goes. So
yeah. Oh yeah, that'd be bad.
I could do so much more with my
yeah. Instead of sitting 8 hours, programming. It's like, ooh, let me throw some beats down, make some music.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you did have like the opportunity to approach music full time and do that for a living, like what exactly would you do with all of that?
Yeah. So honestly, I'd probably just really want to give a more behind the scenes look at my music because like, I'm a musician, so like YouTube and making videos and stuff maybe isn't like what I'm like well versed in.
Right.
So for example, I would love to make a YouTube video on how I play live because every time I talk to Alex or I play a show, he's like, your setup is weird. I mean? So but like really it's just like I don't know if it's deprecated, but FL Studio doesn't talk about it as much anymore, but it's called performance mode.
Oh yeah.
So it's how I play my music live. I'm not DJing. I'm like triggering clips. I have control of how the song is constructed live.
Right.
And I would love to be like, hey, you also use FL Studio? Here's how I do it. And here's my whole setup. And another buddy of mine, name is like Frank Javsey. They're also in the Vaporwave scene. Even they were like, hey, next time we hang out, can you like bring your whole live gear so I can like see what you're doing? Because it's interesting.
Yeah.
So I'd love to do more YouTube stuff like gear reviews. I have like a bunch of, stuff. I have like an OP1. I would love to be like, as a future funk producer, what is the OP1 like? You know what I mean? For people like that. Maybe marketing videos. I know that's a common thing. I have like some people on the Groovy Kaiju Discord server that were like, yo man, like where should I post this? And I'm like, oh, here, and like here's why, and next one, so just help out other artists. And for people who just like my music, those are all things like if you are a musician already, I really like to do like live streams. Like, so one thing I used to do was like tech deck on Instagram. I mean, it's not the most entertaining thing, but be able to be like, hey, pop on in and we can like talk while I'm like tech decking, or you can probably more realistically probably play something on Twitch. Maybe play like a little bit of like, I don't know, just older games. I have like a whole backlog of games I want to play. I could always play like Rocket League, or no, I couldn't Rocket League and read, but I could probably do Halo 3.
Actually, Rocket League, and
that'd be tough. But and then I have a Discord server, and like one thing I already feel bad because people are like, oh, we should like have like time to like hang out on voice chat and stuff, and I'm like, dude, I'm like running back from work right now, or I'm like doing X, Y, and Z. But if it was like a full-time thing I did, I could be like, yeah, sure, I'll do all my like life adult errands and like during the day, and then when everyone like is not doing, I can like have time to be like, yo, what's up? Let's like hang out and play games and whatever it may be.
Yeah, that'd be rad.
And even outside of streaming, I'd like to do like maybe mailing list type stuff. Like, what's it called? Like, this is like the reason why I'm stumbling is because I'm like trying to explain it, but like with a programmer background, I like know how to like self-host servers and stuff. So it'd be really cool if it's like, hey, look, you're like a mailing list person, or like, I'm not gonna, some type of like, you're pretty much exclusive stuff. I'll go ahead and like host a server, let's say, where you can have access to like all of my recorded live sets, all of my music, and like hopefully providing like a Spotify like UI.
Yeah.
So like, you know, the only downside is you have to have like a separate music streaming app, but like then you would have access to all my music just for like being part of like, you know, the homie club, I guess, of like my music.
Yeah.
And then and obviously I'd love to just put out more music. I'd like to like invest more time putting out more music and also the quality of it. Like for example, Spotify kind of encourages monthly singles, but I really want to do more concept albums for Groovy. As you can see in the skits and stuff, I want to go there, but then like, you know, I can only like do it 75% of the way, but if I had the time to like make the singles as well as like, okay, and then make a second song for part of like a concept album.
Yeah.
It'd be dope if I can do like singles albums and then like concept albums. And then, yeah. And again, I guess I said all this. Some of it I thought about on the fly. Some of it I like took down on my notes. So I can't promise anything, but these are like what's running through my head of like, yeah, let's do music.
Things that you would want to do, do music full time.
Definitely. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And I mean, yeah, that's cool because it sounds like a lot of it is like, you know, based around the community because you essentially came up, you know, from the community. So it's like, how do you bring that community back up with you, you know, grow, have everyone grow together, which I think is like a really badass concept to get into, you know.
Thank you. Yeah.